Yeah, since everyone's talking about, where they grew up, I grew up in India. And I know that South Asian culture is completely blinded with faith in this idea of smug vegetarianism. They believe that, oh, we must be superior because we don't eat meat. But hey, what about dairy? And I know that one of your viewers just posted what Earthling Ed said, that the dairy industry is, in fact, the meat industry, right? So in the outreach work that my nonprofit does back in India, as well as here in the United States, we've discovered exactly what Gwenna mentioned. People don't know. People don't know what vegan might be. People haven't heard about it. When you say, plant-based, they don't really get it because there's this whole emphasis on protein, what Willie was talking about, that the media and the media determinants of health are just so strong around the world. I remember I grew up with the Indian version of the Got Milk campaign. Now, that Got Milk campaign, if we have to really talk about effectiveness of advertising and converting people and, dazing them and keeping them mesmerized in the name of nutrition, that ought to get like the biggest, award of them all. And what we have here are now vegan athletes, the Williams sisters. And they, at one point in time in 1999, when this advertising came out by the PEP, which is the milk processors, organization in California that actually is responsible for funding these ads. Naomi Campbell, that's from 1993. This was the first ever print ad that Got Milk campaign and the Milk Mustache, ever did. When we look at such selective targeting, and there you go, another one. And when you look at the contexts, right? The contexts are, sport. Contexts are again, real sports star, celebrity influencer holding a bottle of milk, and sporting that mustache, and so on. And the reality is that piece of advertising, that campaign, has been the longest running campaign ever. And they have done more damage to a lot of this world's population, including the BIPOC population in this country, that is inherently lactose intolerant. And
Right.
I hate using that word, Naijha, by the way, because a majority of the world is lactose normal, which is that we're not able to digest, metabolize, milk, and we're not even able to metabolize meat. So to speak. So all of
But
these
it is
things,
forced upon our communities, especially if you're in subsidized programs, because I couldn't even get my daughter in the program if she didn't drink milk. So obviously she wasn't going to be in that program because she wasn't going to.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't mind, if I take a minute about talking about this Got Milk campaign, and just to talk about what they did during the pandemic, this program, the Got Milk campaign, was actually revived in the United States during the pandemic. And the milk processor education program, their CEO actually said, and they're funding the campaign, they said that cow's milk ticks the boxes of what consumers are looking for during a pandemic: comfort, nutrition, stability, versatility. And social media research showed them a 40% increase in positive mentions about milk in the year when the United States was dealing with a global pandemic. And sales of milk actually went up. It was the biggest year-over-year jump of 21% in March of 2020. And this was around the same time when we had 22% positivity rates in New York City. Can you fathom that? That is, when Willie talks about the extreme advertising, that is the power of the stimuli that is thrown at everybody, and especially in a very profiled and a targeted manner at communities of color.